With Bitcoin absolutely ripping and the M2 global money supply at all-time highs, we could potentially see $150,000 Bitcoin coming up in the near future. In today's video, I'm going to cover what I think is going to happen over the next couple months here with the crypto markets and Bitcoin, so hit that like button and let's jump into it. All right, today we're going to jump into the crypto markets, take a look at Bitcoin, what I think is going to happen here. We're going to look at a lot of different things today and see what's going on because it's looking really promising right now, but we'll see how this plays out. Let's jump into it here. Bitcoin, as of this recording, 93,000, actually almost hit 94,000 today. Now, I'm probably recording this about a day and a half before this video comes out, so anything could happen. Bitcoin could be $95,000, $100,000, or it could be under 90,000 by the time this video comes out, but as of this recording, it's looking really promising. I'm not going to get too excited until we get above 100,000. Now things are heating up in the markets. They're starting to look good, but what we're all really waiting for is the alt season, but Bitcoin always leads the charge in that. Let's take a look at Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin right now, 93,300. It's following the M2 money supply, global money supply chart to a T. As you can see, I've got like an 80-day delay set up in this chart. Some people use 100 days, but 80 days is overlaying it pretty well. Right now, if you take a look at this here, if we kind of spread this out a little bit and take a look at it, but it's following it really closely. And right now, if we keep going here with Bitcoin and we match up these peaks, we could potentially see Bitcoin reaching 140,000 maybe by the end of July. Maybe 150,000 by then. We don't know. Obviously, there's no guarantee it'll continue following this, but just kind of a little bit of a measurement to go off from because it has been following it closely. As you guys know, when more liquidity comes into the markets, some of that liquidity flows into crypto, and especially Bitcoin. And eventually, hopefully, we'll get an alt season, and hopefully things start pumping our bags with the altcoins because that's what we're really waiting for most of us anyways. Now, here's a good thing that I'm looking at here. I'm still looking at the Pi cycle top indicator. It is showing that it's actually spreading apart from each other, these two indicators. The Pi cycle top from the last top here hit when the two lines touched. Same with the previous cycle. As of right now, it's showing no sign of a top in this market anywhere close to being right now. It's showing it being a long ways away. These two lines typically touch at the top of the market. We did have them kind of get a little bit closer together here when we peaked out back in March of last year. We had that little bit of a run, but since then the lines have been spreading apart, and this is a good indicator that we are nowhere near the top of this cycle. If you look at the previous charts here where these two lines actually started getting close to each other, they actually got above the green line and the gold line, and right now they're not above either one. So if they get above them here, you're looking at over $170,000 Bitcoin for a top in this cycle, and potentially even higher than that. Some people are calling for a $250,000 Bitcoin. That is possible, but I wouldn't count on that. Just make sure that this time around when we're moving up and we get an alt season, that you're cashing out your crypto and not waiting for any crazy numbers, because as you guys have seen recently here, the markets can turn around quick and then you missed out on any gains. I'm going to be more careful this time around and take out some profits on the way up. If we take a look at the Bitcoin monthly returns chart here, we're up 10% for the month of April. This cycle is closer to the 2017 cycle than it is the 2020-2021 cycle. So if we look at 2017 and 2018 here, last time in 2017 we did have a red March, and then we had a 33% gain for Bitcoin in April, a 50% gain for Bitcoin in May, 10% in June, 17% in July, and 65% in August. And then we had a little bit of a red September, and then we just kept screaming until the end of 2017 into a massive blow off top bull run. Now, I don't think we're going to see gains like this where we're getting 50% in 1 month and 65% in 1 month and so on, but it looks promising that we could see some really nice gains. Those are possible numbers for 1 month, but you know, I just want to be a little bit more conservative, not expect these numbers, but it's looking promising that we could reach some really crazy numbers with Bitcoin potentially by the end of 2025 if things play out like we're hoping. We don't even have interest rates really lowered yet, and we still have the Fed not really easing the market markets with lower interest rates, and once they do that, I think we'll really start taking off. Right now, even with the stock market, it did really well today. A few days ago, we had a dump in the stock market, and Bitcoin didn't even move, so that's a good sign that Bitcoin is being strong right now. Now, anything can happen in crypto, but right now we're looking pretty good. If we take a look at Bitcoin dominance here, you can see it's absolutely taking off. We have gotten up to almost 65% with Bitcoin dominance, the highest we've been this cycle right now. Bitcoin, if we get up to this 70% area for Bitcoin dominance, we could probably expect a real crazy alt season shortly after that, but it doesn't have to get that high in order for the alt season to happen. We're already in the zone here where we could see Bitcoin dominance drop and get an alt season. But I've pointed out in my videos before that the Bitcoin dominance doesn't actually have to drop in order for the alt season to happen. What happened last time is Bitcoin dominance was already high when we started getting the alt season, and then Bitcoin dominance dropped, after the alt season was already peaking out. So we don't need Bitcoin dominance really to drop in order for the alt season to happen, but we're getting up in these higher numbers here where we should hopefully start seeing an alt season happen over the course of the next several months. If we take a look at the Bitcoin rainbow chart here, we are in the green zone, so this is actually a still cheap zone for Bitcoin. We are not in the hodl or is this a bubble zone or even seriously sell zone. So we're not up in the orange zone. I expect us to potentially get into the orange zone this cycle, maybe not the red zone so much, because we are kind of on a curve that's not truly following the Bitcoin rainbow chart. And if you look at the old rainbow chart, you could see here on that one we're actually only in the blue, so they're going to have to adjust the curve on this because it's a little bit off for these cycles. So that is really good if we get up that high. Now obviously, the cycles are always different and we can't guarantee that because it takes a lot more money now to push the price of Bitcoin. But you can see over the last week we've moved up significantly with Bitcoin. I mean, we've moved up, I think, like $15,000 over the course of just a few weeks. So once we get up above $100,000 with Bitcoin, I think things could turn around really quickly, and we could hopefully see things turn around with our alts, and that's really what we're waiting for. We'll see if Ethereum makes any big moves here in the future. Ethereum has kind of bottomed out on the chart against Bitcoin. I'm not going to show you that. I showed you that in my last video when I was covering Bitcoin and Ethereum, but if you guys want to see that, you can go back to my video and see that. But right now, things are still looking promising with Bitcoin, and hopefully by the time this video comes out, we'll be pushing the $100,000 mark, but it is possible that we get rejected off from like the 95,000 level here, and we drop maybe back down to 90,000 and then work our way sideways in that range for a little bit before we hit over 100,000. But based off from the M2 money supply chart that's going with Bitcoin, we could potentially see $140,000 to $150,000 Bitcoin by the end of July. We'll see how this plays out. Hopefully that is the case, but obviously there is no guarantee of that. But it's just really interesting that it's been following it so closely recently. But that's pretty much what I got for this video, guys. If you're interested in joining my free Telegram group, the link is in the description below for that. If you're interested in joining my Patreon group, I will be sharing all of my sells once we get into an alt season here, when I'll be selling all my coins in my private Discord group. It's really affordable to join. It's only like $10 or $15 a month, depending on if there's any $9.99 spots available. I think there is right now currently, but if you guys are interested in joining that, once I start selling my coins this cycle, I will be sharing them in there and any other opportunities that I see once we get into an alt season, because I do have a lot of connections in the crypto space. If there's any lucrative coins that we could jump into privately, or any NFTs out there that we might get an opportunity to jump in, a mint on, anything like that. So if you're interested, you can join my Discord through Patreon. The link is in the description below. That's pretty much what I got for this video, guys. Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next video.